Hello there.
Hello there indeed. Here we are, a what to watch for Sunday's games in the NBA. I am Josh Lloyd, of course. You're watching the Josh Lloyd Fantasy Basketball channel. Of course, I have the podcast that most shows are available on the Locked On Fantasy Basketball podcast. You can find me at Basketball Monster as well. Let's talk about what we're going to look at in Sunday's games across the NBA. The first one of those games we look at is the Mavericks and the Clippers. In the first game, it was Jalen Brunson and it was Trey Burke playing evenly. That didn't quite happen in game 2. Burke got those minutes. So who's going to get that backup role? That's important for deeper leagues. And I want to see what Timmy Hardaway is going to do because he has been marginalized. Now, despite the surprise that he had last season, he wasn't actually that good for fantasy. And I think that he's probably a 12-team drop in most cases. For the Clippers, is Kawhi going to play? Smashed his face open on Serge Ibaka's elbow last game. If he is out, that's really going to boost the value of guys like Nick Batum, who is fantastic. We know that Marcus Morris is already out, so we're already looking to see what Batum's going to do, who in the first game didn't really score, but had really nice assist numbers. In the second game, did it all and played big minutes. He looks like he fits pretty well, and I want to watch that IBAKA and ZUBAC minutes situation at the center spot. The most important thing, I think, though, is Kawhi and whether he's actually going to be out there. The Nets and the Hornets. Caris LeVert was good in game 1, not so good against the Celtics on Christmas. Let's see how much he actually plays with KD and KYRIE. And if they have to play 30 minutes, which they probably won't have to against the Hornets, is that going to impact LeVert? And is it going to impact Dinwiddie, who has really, at this point, he looks like a drop. This is also the first game of a back-to-back for the Nets, so I assume that KD and KYRIE will play, and they won't play Monday, but we don't know that for sure, and that's going to give the boost for Dinwiddie. But guys like Dinwiddie, I think he's only going to have value in a situation as a streamer when Irving is out. For the Hornets, LaMelo Ball looked much better on Saturday. Will he see his role increase? Devontae Graham's not it. He is not the answer. He is a poor shooter, and Melo should be getting at least some of his and Terry Rozier's minutes. I want to see how that works. And as I said, Graham, what is going on? This guy just shoots and he can't do it. And he continues to not be able to do it, and he continues to shoot, which is a horrible combination. His passing is pretty good, but it has not been good for him really since about the first 2 months of last season. The Spurs and the Pelicans. LaMarcus Aldridge. Is Greg Popovich just keeping his minutes low because he's old as shit? Or is Aldridge washed? Is this the last year Aldridge is a starter in the NBA? He hasn't cracked 30 minutes yet. He's taking a ton of threes. I really want to see how that looks, as well as Keldon Johnson's minutes. We saw Rudy Gay get a lot more minutes on Saturday. Now, it is a back-to-back, so Gay might sit, Aldridge might sit, Mills might sit, and that might bump Keldon's minutes up. For the Pelicans, I want to watch Zion. I always want to watch Zion, but I want to watch his defensive numbers because he's looked better on that end so far. Not at Duke levels, but better indeed. And if he can bring 1.4 steals and a block per game, then that really changes things for his fantasy value. And Lonzo Ball, his shooting, it looks really good. He has attempted 1 2-point field goal in the season so far. He hasn't made it. He's 0 of 1 from 2. Everything he's taking is free throws or threes, which is really analytically quite good. And his shot has improved significantly. The Magic and the Wizards. We saw this game on Saturday. We're going to see it again on Sunday. Markel Fultz, he looks like the real deal to me. I really believe in him. His free throws look to be fixed, so I want to keep an eye on that. And Aaron Gordon, he's under a minutes restriction at the moment. That's keeping his minutes down. Obviously, that's the idea of a minutes restriction. Is it going to be in place on Sunday? I would imagine so. And when's that going to come off? Because he's looking really good in the minutes he's playing. For the Wizards, Russell Westbrook, they said he's not going to play back-to-backs, and then Scott Brooks said, maybe we haven't decided that, so is Russ going to play? If he doesn't play, Ish Smith and Raul Neto will get minutes there, but you'll get more Troy Brown, you'll get more Beal usage. It's going to change things around for a lot of players. More rebounds for Tom Bryant. And then Denny AVDIJA. His minutes on Saturday were really low because of fouls. Will they jump back up? Is he worth holding? He probably isn't. There's probably better guys out there in a 12-team league than Denny AVDIJA at this point. The Sixers and the Cavs. I always want to look at that Shake Milton, Danny Green combination in the game against the Knicks. It was Green over Milton. I will continue to say this. Milton is like Norman Powell. His value is in scoring, and that if that doesn't come either in volume or in good efficiency, then he's shithouse. And that is the problem with him. The minutes might push up, but if the shot doesn't fall, they'll cut him back, and that's what happened on Saturday. Also, will Joel Embiid play? It is a back-to-back. We don't know for sure. I imagine he will. The other thing I want to check out for the Sixers is people are pretty down on the thick hogsman, Tobias Harris.
I think I am a TH?
T to the H.
Yeah, TH for life.
Can he bounce back? Bit of a buy low for Tobias Harris. For the Cavs, Darius Garland has looked amazing. You know that I was hyping him up. I didn't even know I was hyping up. I just pick him in the last round of every draft. Pick him. And it's worked out pretty bloody well so far. Are these assists for real? Let's see how that goes. And Andre Drummond is a 7-foot man who cannot shoot, yet he cannot even get to 40% from the field. His shot selection is atrocious. The minutes are fine. The production is fine. But that field goal percentage is rough. I want to see that change over. Although he usually gets his ass absolutely destroyed, and not in a good way, by Joel Embiid. The Bucks and the Knicks. How much do the Bucks win by? A lot is my guess. So how much do these starters play? Does Dante DiVincenzo get included in that? Because he's been looking really good, but how much are they going to play? And then Brook Lopez. A lot of people ask me, hey, do I drop Brook Lopez? No, you don't. You don't drop him. Let's see, can he get things cracking again in this game? And then for the Knicks, Lord Alfred Payton starting. I'm really close to him being a drop at this point, because if he's playing this little when Quickly isn't there, and Smith and Ntilikina aren't really even playing, that's a real concern. And same with Nerlens Noel. I want to watch those two specifically. There's no Obi Toppin, there's no Emmanuel Quickly, but yeah, how much are these guys going to play? They are looking like drops at this point. The Celtics and the Packers. Jason Tatum has not attempted a single free throw. That is rough. He is not living up to being a first-round player at this point. That can change. And the THEIS-Thompson combination, I imagine this is a matchup to use it against Miles Turner and Domantas Sabonis. I think they'll get a few more minutes each year. For the Pacers, I don't know why they, and everyone in the NBA just seems to not want to play Miles Turner. He's good, and it really frustrates me how little they play him. So I want to watch that. And it is a back-to-back. So TJ Warren and Victor Oladipo, will they play, or will they have their minutes monitored, given they're both coming off injuries? The Warriors and the Bulls, Draymond should be back, so that'll be something to watch. Can that improve the fortunes of this team? And can Blunty, James Wiseman, can he do stuff that isn't in garbage time? Now, he's been putting up some good numbers for sure, but a lot of it's coming in garbage time. Can he do it not in garbage time? Can he show more defensive awareness? Because he hasn't been good there, and his role in the offense is a bit off. They're going to keep force-feeding him minutes, and he's going to get these touches, but I want to watch him do it when it's not garbage time. And can Kelly Oubre hit a shot? Andrew Wiggins, forget that guy. He's finished. Not finished as in like he's never going to be good, and we accept that. Oubre is better than this. He's not great, but he is better than this, and I want to watch his shooting. For the Bulls, Kobe White hasn't really got it cracking yet. They were smacked by the Pacers, and that limited all their starters. So I want to say that. And Wendell Carter, man, the guy just looks destroyed. I suppose that's what happened when Fred Hoiberg and Jim Boylan are out there telling you, dude, you can't pass or you can't shoot. Please stop doing both of them. It wouldn't be good for your confidence, but he looks like a broken man at the moment, and I want to see him at least get something back in terms of his ability and his confidence in his own ability. The Suns and the Kings, DeAndre Ayton. What's wrong with this bloke? Yeah, the narrative, man, he's going to blow up this year. Playing with Chris Paul is going to help. It doesn't matter for this guy. He's so, I don't know what the right word is, timid. He just doesn't push to the rim. He doesn't get enough free throw attempts. He takes these weak, pissy, mid-range floater type shots. Either step out and hit threes or just use your giant physique to manhandle blokes. And he does neither. It's really frustrating to watch. And I also want to see the new holder of this title, if I can find the button.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Jay Crowder. Big game against the Kings in the first one, although the Suns, not good that they lost to the Kings, although I did tip the Kings to win that. I probably should have given you my my betting picks as well on this. Maybe I'll go back and do that in a sec. Crowder, I want to watch how that goes. I want to see how Hassan Whiteside's role looks for the Kings. He's not even getting 20 minutes a night, and that's trending towards drop territory. And then Marvin Bagley, who put up a double-double, and he'll do that. He just will do nothing else, and he didn't play very many minutes again. He is not good. I don't think he's ever going to be good, but if he gets 27 minutes a night, he can be a fantasy force. It's just not working for him at the moment. The last game is the Wolves and the Lakers. I am absolutely shit scared about Karl-Anthony Towns and his wrist. He came out and said, yeah, I've had the x-rays. I've told my family. We have to deal with it. Well, I don't know what the results of the x-rays are, but you have x-rays on a wrist. And he said, yeah, I had to go back out there to be a decoy. If there's not a fracture in this wrist, I'm going to be surprised. It is horrible news to me, or the way that was framed. Now, I could be completely wrong, and I am speculating on this. And if I go and have a look now, just to see if any news has happened, he says his wrist is pretty sore. I am worried, absolutely shit worried. If he is out, you add Naz Reid. Josh Okogie's playing a lot of power forward. Will they continue to eschew Jake Layman and Juancho Hernan-Gomez? They should, because they're terrible. But there's too many minutes for Okogie. There's too many minutes for Beasley when guys like Edwards and Culver, your two top 10, top 6 lottery picks from the last 2 years, are sort of languishing in their role on the bench. Anthony Davis has popped up on the injury report as being questionable with a calf. This is the first of a back-to-back for the Lakers, so is it a calf or is it a calf? We don't know. And I want to see Montrezl Harrell, who's been really good early on. Marc Gasol did get more minutes than him, and Harrell sort of got a bit of a boost in garbage time on Christmas Day, and I want to see how his efficiency looks, because it looked pretty good to kick things off for the season. Now, these aren't by any means these betting plays I'm going to give you. They're not by any means banks, locks, take them to the bank, that sort of shit. But if I go through what I've got here, I've got the Nets at -8.5, the Clippers -5.5. I like that one for the Clippers, to be honest. The Pelicans -5.5 over the Spurs. I've got the Wizards -2.5, the Sixers -6.5. The Bucks at -11.5. The Pacers, I think they're going to win outright against the Celtics. That's just it's an underdog tip. I like the Warriors -2. I like the Kings at +3.5, and I like the Wolves at +11. They are my tips for the day, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment below, heart that little thumbs up. Yeah, give the thumbs up. I'll heart your comment back. I just want this out to as many people as possible. Tell them all about it. Get yourself prepared for another day of the NBA on Sunday, guys. We are done here. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. See ya.